Hello, my badass boys and badass babes. It is your Vixen from Vatican City, Virgo the Vixen. And as always, hit those likes and subscribe buttons wherever they're at. Today, we are going to be talking about my first yoga class, which is kind of ironic because it was my last yoga class as well. And today, I want to talk about how I took up yoga for one day, okay? It's not like I quit the class, because I'm a quitter. I'll explain that, how we got to it, what happened, and why I'm no longer in yoga. Don't worry. There's a rather interesting story behind all these things. First, how did it get started? Well, I'm in confession, confessing my sins, or some priests call it bragging, depending on your point of view, and depending on how much evidence you bring. Anyway, so I'm in there giving my confession. I'm talking to the priest about how I'm doing some nasty business with this one guy, so this way I could get free donuts. And you know what? The priest ain't paying attention to me. The worst part is he's just looking down at his phone and he's watching TikTok videos. Now, how do I know he's watching videos? Because the dumbass didn't turn down the sound and I could see his face looking down at something. So that kind of aggravates me. Because we have a deal between me and the church. Well, in my mind, we have a deal. I go out, commit sins. I tell you the sins. You cleanse me or tell me what I need to be done to be cleansed of the sin. This way, we have a nice revolving cycle. This way, I keep them in business. I get happy. I get saved. It's a good deal for both parties involved. And this guy is breaking the contract. He's not even paying attention to me. And I'm getting mad. So I start making up crazy things just to see if he'll pay attention. I tell him how it's always been my lifelong dream to become a nun and to do good on this earth. And he's just looking down at the screen and going, yeah, just follow your dreams. You're doing good. And then I start telling him in graphic details how I want to have a three-way with him and the bishop of the diocese, and I want to do it in the middle of the church. At this point, that caught his attention finally. And I don't know if he was red with anger or blushing. At this point, I didn't care because I was mad. Hey, this is my time. I didn't commit these sins just to sit here and just do nothing. Oh, and by the way, a little side note. You know how the phrase is what happens in confession stays in confession? That's bullshit. I'm going to tell you that right now. How do I know that's bullshit? Because my friend, the Rabbi Goldstein, good guy, we go out drinking sometimes. Nothing happened between us. We're just friends, just for the record. And so I'm talking to him. I'm telling him about something. He goes, yeah, I heard it from so-and-so. And so-and-so is one of the priests at the church. And it's like, how the hell do they get away with this shit? So, anyways, back to where I was talking about, instead of going on the side tangent about how the priest bragged to other, how can we say this, men of the cloth of different faiths. Anyways, so, this guy stops what he's doing. He is red, I don't know if of embarrassment or mad, and he goes, I'm looking at yoga videos. Apparently, like I said, he had a TikTok account, and he's watching yoga videos. And he turns to me and says these words. Now, I want you guys to know, if you're ever looking for a quick way to end your life in a very painful and gruesome manner, say this set of words. For a woman your age, I'm going to stop right there. For a woman your age is just, and then finish with whatever after that. Whatever after that kind of gets blanked out because us ladies, all we hear is the first part, a woman your age. If you ever want to die a horrible death, start with that phrase or the phrase, honey, you look a little fat in that dress. I guarantee you, this is the quickest and fastest way to get to the afterlife. How do I know this? Not saying. Just not saying how, just saying it is. Anyways, he turns to me and says, for a woman your age, you know what? You need some yoga in your life. I don't want to kill this guy. No. The idea of me killing him didn't cross my mind. It's doing laps around my brain. Because not only am I thinking about how I'm going to kill him, how am I going to dispose of the body, is it illegal to throw a corpse on top of like another body in a cemetery? Is that considered desecration? How am I going to explain this to God? How am I going to take care of the evidence? I'm thinking of all these things at once after he said that. And he goes, no, please, don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to insult you. At this point, doesn't matter. The thoughts are going through my head. And I go, why? He goes, trust me. You want to do some yoga. And he starts pointing out the healthy benefits. And there are, after I calm down just enough to hear him reasonably speak about yoga. First of all, yoga is low impact. Keeps the body. It's good health. You don't have to worry about a high impact. Low impact, low stressful. And it's real easy to do. Up my alley. These are things I love. I was like, okay. And they start showing me a few of these videos, something simple and easy. He says you don't have to worry about the advanced classes. He recommended me a yoga studio. And so I said, okay, thank you. And then I shut the door, and then I go to the next person, and I tell them, it's like, if you're going to go in there, make sure your story is better than the yoga videos he's watching, and then I leave. So I go to the store, get a nice little yoga outfit, nothing too fancy, just, I didn't want to wear sweatpants, okay? I'm sorry, I'm not into wearing sweats. So I got a nice yoga outfit. I sign up for a yoga, It's like, okay, I'll try a yoga class. So I sign up for one. All right. This is the part where, like I said, now we're getting to the phase of the story of how, like I said, we got the how. Now we're going to talk about what happened at the yoga class to where I signed up, and then we're going to talk about how this class ended. All right, so I go there, like I said, sign up. The lady was really nice, and she didn't say a woman of my age, okay, because she understands, hey, girl code, you don't say that shit. She says, look at it this way, all right? As we get older, unfortunately, Mother Nature is cruel to us, so we got to fight back. You see, that's how you say to a woman. It's like, hey, Mother Nature is treating you wrong. I'm helping you to fight back. That is the words you guys want to say to empower a woman instead of a woman of your age, okay? Just saying. That's how to handle it. Anyway, so I sign up, and, there's an instructor, and she is in her 20s, and good God, I have to give her credit. She was smoking hot for a young lady her age. I'm surprised she doesn't have, I'm pretty sure she has a boyfriend or two or three or whatever. But point is, she knew what she was doing, and this girl was as flexible as a Gumby doll. All right, and here she is teaching the beginners class, and I'm feeling way, how can we say this, out of place here because I got some other people, some younger, some older, all different body types. It's just beginners class, but yeah, I still feel out of place. All right. So we get into, some basic stretches. It's like, okay, I kind of like this. This is good. Then we get into this one position where you put your hands on the ground, you arch your back. It kind of look like this, where your hands are here, butt is up here, legs are down on this side. It's kind of like a pyramid. And when I did this, and I'm arching my back, the only thing I could think of is, God, please don't fart, please don't fart, please don't fart, please don't fart. All right, I'm trying to, I'm just trying to keep my mind on not farting. Then she has us raise one leg in the air, our left leg. And at this point, I would love to tell you everything went fine. I would love to tell you that it was a great class. But at this point, I let a fart go. And I'm not talking like a little church fart you do in the back pew. Oh, no. This is something that rattled the damn walls kind of fart. Okay. Everyone, and I mean everyone, in the class next door heard this, comes over, looks at me, and I am in tears because I'm laughing so hard. The rest of the class looks at me just like I committed a cardinal sin of some sort. I don't know what. Apparently, you can't fart in yoga class. Or if you do, you're not supposed to let it rip that bad. And I didn't mean to. It just came out, okay? My body wasn't used to being in that position. That's a phrase you won't hear me say very often, but it's true, okay? So I let this fart go, okay? Everyone is paying attention. And I wish to God it was one of the silent, smelly ones. At least this way I could blame somebody else. But no, when it's this loud, and it didn't smell, but God, oh my God, how the room echoed. Ugh, it was embarrassing. And I would love to tell you, it stopped there. I would love to tell you, that's the end of my shame and embarrassment. I don't know how I can do this. There is this one, I don't know how to describe it. There's this one pose where you kind of lay back and you're lifting your leg up. And you'll have to look it up. But anyways, I lift up my leg and I rip my pants. My brand new pair of yoga pants. And as I'm throwing my leg up, I hear this rip sound. Yeah. Okay. So let's just see the damage I've done. I've let a fart go that no one's ever going to forget. Ripped my yoga pants. And again, I don't know if this is normal, but if that would have just ended there, I might be still going to yoga class. But I cannot stress what I did next. And I'm not exactly, well, I'll let the courts decide this one if I'm right or if I'm wrong. The little, how can I say this, Gumby who's teaching the class decides to, how do I want to say this, starts kind of berating me in a small little way, and every woman knows what I'm talking about. I catch on to this, and I kind of let it slide because I'm the new girl, and I gotta do this, I gotta get in shape, gotta do, fight against Mother Nature. Did I hit her? No. Did I say something to her? No. Okay. What I did was, and I'm not proud of this, I took off my top and I said, at least my titties are real and bigger than your little knobs. Yeah, that is a sight that she wasn't expecting. Okay, I'm not going to get into whether these are real or not. All I'm just going to say is she was embarrassed because I'm at least a healthy C cup plus, and she is barely an A. And every woman knows that's a subject of sore feelings. You don't pull off that card unless you're wanting to hurt. And so she goes off crying, and I was asked never to come back to the yoga studio. Gee, I wonder why. So let's review. I got banned from this yoga studio. I decided that yoga is not best for me. I find out that what happens in the confessional doesn't stay in the confessional. I'm not having a good time. So I want to leave the story on a positive note because it does have a little bit of positivity to this story. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to, how can I say brag about this? But there were several I can't say young men, but older men, good looking older men. And as soon as I took off my top, I got a few phone numbers. What can I say? A win's a win. Sometimes you win big, sometimes you win small, but the point is, hey, a W's a W. Take it wherever you can get, and that's today's life lesson. If life hands you a win, no matter how big or how small it is, you take it. Well, anyways, my badass boys and badass babes, hopefully you enjoyed this week's video, and as always, who's your vixen? Bye-bye.